This episode is brought to you by Shopify. Selling a little or a lot? Do your thing however you cha-ching with Shopify, the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business. Shopify helps you turn browsers into buyers with the internet's best converting checkout. 36% better on average compared to other leading commerce platforms. Get a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/offer23.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Not only have I been the owner of Mint Mobile for the last few years, I've also been a customer. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today. I'm told it's super easy to do at mintmobile.com/switch.
New activation and upfront payment for 3-month plan required. Taxes and fees extra. Additional restrictions apply. See mintmobile.com for full terms.
Hey, I'm Ryan Reynolds, owner of Mint Mobile, with a message for everyone paying big wireless way too much. Please, for the love of everything good in this world, stop. With Mint, you can get premium wireless for just $15 a month. Of course, if you enjoy overpaying, no judgments, but that's weird. Okay, one judgment. Anyway, give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
New activation and upfront payment for 3-month plan required. Taxes and fees extra. Additional restrictions apply. See mintmobile.com for full terms.
This episode is brought to you by Shopify. Selling a little or a lot? Do your thing however you cha-ching with Shopify, the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business. Shopify helps you turn browsers into buyers with the internet's best converting checkout. 36% better on average compared to other leading commerce platforms. Get a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/offer23.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Not only have I been the owner of Mint Mobile for the last few years, I've also been a customer. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today. I'm told it's super easy to do at mintmobile.com/switch.
New activation and upfront payment for 3-month plan required. Taxes and fees extra. Additional restrictions apply. See mintmobile.com for full terms.
'Tis the season to shine with H&M. Discover the holiday collection and find fashionable pieces for your wardrobe or for under the tree. Get inspired and dazzle with this year's glam. From tuxedo styles, bow detailed pieces, impressive prints, and more. From unforgettable looks to unforgettable gifts. With fashion finds to home decor, find it all at H&M. Treat your loved ones and yourself this season. Shop in-store or at hm.com.
Hey, I'm Ryan Reynolds, owner of Mint Mobile, with a message for everyone paying big wireless way too much. Please, for the love of everything good in this world, stop. With Mint, you can get premium wireless for just $15 a month. Of course, if you enjoy overpaying, no judgments, but that's weird. Okay, one judgment. Anyway, give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
New activation and upfront payment for 3-month plan required. Taxes and fees extra. Additional restrictions apply. See mintmobile.com for full terms.
This episode is brought to you by Shopify. Selling a little or a lot? Do your thing however you cha-ching with Shopify, the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business. Shopify helps you turn browsers into buyers with the internet's best converting checkout. 36% better on average compared to other leading commerce platforms. Get a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/offer23.
On the surface level, it's calm, cool, and collected. It's like the duck that sits on the water and is just calm, and on the surface is just chilling. Yeah. But underwater, you don't see that little sucker is paddling like no other, and you don't see all the fear and everything that's just going underneath the water.
Hey girl, imagine a life where you feel supported, connected, and understood. I get it. Being a mom is hard, especially when you're spinning so many plates. We exhaust ourselves trying to create the perfect life for our family. You deserve to enjoy your family without the stress perfectionism brings. On this podcast, I provide practical and relatable life experiences. I teach women quick and easy to use strategies to help them reclaim their identity, reignite their marriage, and enjoy their children. If you're ready to be challenged, then pull up a chair, grab pen and paper, because it's about to go down. I'm Veronica Cisneros, a licensed marriage and family therapist, and this is the Empowered and Unapologetic Podcast. Okay, so this topic is a very sensitive topic, and it's a very, very sensitive topic because a good amount of clients come to me and constantly ask me, why is my husband lying to me? He's lying to me and he keeps things from me. And it's a sensitive topic because it's something that can definitely be addressed with boundaries. It can definitely be addressed. However, it's going to require you to step outside of your comfort zone. And a lot of women don't do that or don't want to do that for that matter. So, of course, I totally encouraged my husband to jump on this podcast episode to give us a different perspective. Well, a male's perspective. So, babe, welcome to the show again.
Thank you for having me.
So I'm going to go ahead and read a little synopsis of what's going on, and I want to hear your feedback. And we're not going to go toe to toe with this because I totally think that you and I are on the same page, but I would definitely like to give this woman some insight as to what's going on because we tend to jump the gun sometimes. So here it goes. My husband is lying to me about everything. Even when I ask him where things are, I found out that he has credit cards and finances that we've never talked about. He says he's not talking and shuts down. He won't discuss anything because he says I belittle him. So straight up, this is really big. I mean, homeboy is literally in financial debt and has credit cards that she doesn't even know about. And don't get me wrong, I have a lot of women who say, my husband has no clue that I have all of these credit cards. And then they find out about them and husband gets like totally pissed off. So right now, kind of what's going on in your head?
My reaction is, or my thought behind the assumption of why he's doing what he's doing is it's fear. It's fear of his wife's reaction to the truth, to her knowing the truth.
What do you mean by that?
He's afraid of how she's going to react to it all. So,
but why lie? Why are you lying? Like, let's just put it out there.
Because he wants to. He wants to provide that security. He wants to be that superhero, that guy that has all the answers and has it all together, and doesn't, and is trying to get it fixed, trying to fix the situation, and is getting found out by his wife, who sees that through manipulation or through lies or through whatever, that he's got extra credit cards because he's trying to cover up the financial problems that are going on. I mean, that's just from what I read, or what I heard is that's what's going on. Is that
why do you go straight to that?
He's trying to cover up the problems.
Yeah.
With lies, just to fix it for now, and hopefully things will get better with time. And unfortunately they're not. So I think that's one of the problems. The other problem is it's pride. It's a man's pride to say that a lot of times they just don't want to admit that they have, a chink in their armor, and that they're weaker than they are, and that they don't have it all together. They don't have the ability to take care of their family, that they're relying on their soulmate, that they're relying on their wife to carry the burden or to help them out. They want to be the one that has all the answers.
Why? Where's that coming from?
It's through history. Men have predominantly been the ones that have taken care of their families. I know there's been a role reversal over, the last few generations, where women have gone into the workforce, and there's been, a lot more women that are in executive positions and things like that, and that are doing well for themselves, and all that is great. and good for those women. But I think there's still a lot of those men that are brought up in an old school way that still believe that they have to have all the answers. They have to be able to provide for their families, their kids, their spouses. They have to be able to hold it all down. And when they don't, it just panic sets in. You got to try to figure out, how am I going to do it? Whether it's borrowing money, loans, taking a second on the house, whatever it is. In this particular case is what I'm figuring that this guy is going through to try to get things figured out.
So I actually had this discussion on a live that I hosted a couple weeks ago, and it was on this app called Peanut. And one of the ladies had asked this exact question. And it was so interesting because she immediately went to, well, if he's lying to me about this, what else is he lying to me about? And I bet you anything he's probably cheating on me. And I bet you anything. And she went into catastrophizing like no other. Like, I just don't understand what the big deal is. Why can't he come to me? I'm his wife. Why can't we have this conversation? And you're going straight into, I don't want to say you're protecting him, because I don't think you're protecting him, but it sounds like you're relating to him.
Correct.
Why do you go there? Because if this was a woman here, she wouldn't go there. She would automatically go into, oh, hell no, he's a dog, you should leave him. Why do you go straight into empathizing with him?
Because I've been there. I've tried to, I've been in that situation where I've tried to figure things out and be like, where everything seems is on the surface level. It's calm, cool, and collected. It's like the duck that sits on the water and is just calm, and on the surface is just chilling. Yeah. But underwater, you don't see that little sucker is paddling like no other, and you don't see all the fear and everything that's just going underneath the water. And that's where a lot of times, like, that's where we're at. We're just like, we're trying to keep everything cool, but underneath the surface and like inside, we're holding up a lot of emotion, feeling. We're not outspoken creatures. We're not emotional creatures. Women are emotional creatures.
Okay, calm down.
We're going to be more like, we're just going to try to get things fixed. We're fixers. We're just going to try to get, okay, here's the problem. Mm-hmm. Let me find the solution. And that's what we try to do. And when things start to, the dominoes just start to fall, we try to see, shit, let me just try to stack more dominoes and see how long we could take this thing out.
Mm-hmm. Can a relationship survive this? Honestly, can a relationship survive this? He's not talking. He's avoiding. He's saying she, freaks out, right?
It's unhealthy. It is.
And you guys know this. You guys know this is unhealthy. But
no,
what keeps...
not always.
Really?
No.
You don't know it's unhealthy to keep money or keep credit card debt from your wife?
No, because it's not always one person that's creating the debt. Sometimes it is. Sometimes there's a person that just has a spending problem. But I could tell you, like, in our damn situation.
Okay, calm down. Don't why are you bringing it to me?
This ain't...
Me and Dr. Orient.
We just had a damn conversation today about this. Why doesn't your money go to the family?
Exactly.
And why doesn't my money go to me?
My money goes to me. Okay. Your money goes to us. Let's just keep that straight.
Hail to the no.
What he is referring to is... Mama needs a little touch-up every now and then by a dermatologist that is maybe not cheap, kind of expensive, maybe a little bit. And so Mama needs a little injection here and there every so often. But hey, I'm not hiding that shit from you. I am telling you.
I'll take care of it.
I am on my way to Dr. Orien's office.
I'll do it.
You ain't doing it. You fucked me up on purpose. Going back to our discussion. And so, why is it that you guys don't come to us? Why wouldn't you come to us?
It's pride. It's fear of your reaction. Like right now, you're overreacting out of nowhere. Like you were just saying right now, we would be all all up in there saying, "Oh, he's cheating, he's doing all this other stuff."
I'm not saying that women were saying. No, I don't believe that.
You just reacted the way that most women would react.
No. Let me straighten it out, though. Let me straighten it out for a minute. When I was on the pod, and when I heard her say this, I went exactly where you went.
Okay.
Exactly.
But that's not how you reacted right now.
No, I'm telling you where the women went.
Okay.
Automatically, she went into, if he's hiding this from me, what else is he hiding? And she went into catastrophizing the whole thing. When I went ahead and provided her with feedback, it was to understand what some of his concerns were. Why is it so important that he's hiding this from her? And then another thing I definitely highlighted.
Part of that was probably from insecurities and probably from other things that are unresolved.
Of course. The other thing that I had highlighted for her was his comment. His comment about, I'm trying to find it right now. His comment about him not being able to talk to her. And him feeling as if, kind of like what you said, quick to react. So because he's trying to hide something and because he has no clue how to have maybe even a healthy discussion about this, he's going into safety mode. And if I don't have to talk about it, then I don't have to admit it. Is that healthy? Absolutely not. However, as a wife, as a partner, again, yes, is it going to piss you off? It would piss me off if that was going on. That we weren't in a place where you could talk to me about this. And at the same time,
but if your reaction
well, that's what I'm getting at. And
is the way it is right now, then I would say that I can completely empathize with the man and say that yes, I want to have a conversation with an adult, not with a child. If I'm not going to get a reasonable, rational response from my wife, who's going to try to understand the situation that we're in and try to collectively come to a solution and try to help me figure this out versus attack and say, why have you done this to us? What else are you hiding? Making all these assumptions and, doing that thing, the measuring contest, then then you just go into, this mode of just, you put up your wall and just like, you know what, I'm not gonna have this talk right now. I'll have a better conversation with the wall.
And that's the one that I highlighted, is the fact that she said, he won't discuss this with me, and he says I belittle him. My question to her was, how is he right? How is he right in that he's saying you belittle him? How is that true? And for her, she goes into panic. Rightfully so. Rightfully. If I found out you had a bunch of credit cards and with where our relationship is at, if I found out you had a bunch of credit cards and you didn't tell me, oh my God, I would be hurt. Imagine if all of a sudden, we were applying for a house or whatever, and then they pulled up our credit report and I had a credit card balance of like $50,000.
Yeah. Tell
me you wouldn't lose your shit?
Yeah.
Okay, so there is some of that there. However, one key point
Still
here...
be trade.
Well, absolutely. Absolutely. And so there would be those emotions. Mm-hmm. What we're talking about is, okay, yes, those emotions are 100% valid for her as well as for him. Him shutting down, that's not fair to her. We can both agree that we understand why he shuts down. Because we can see that...
Neither is the childlike response either for her.
Right? So we can both agree why he's shutting down. Mm-hmm. That fear, that inability to go ahead and even admit and own that they're in a pretty shitty, or he put them in a really shitty position. His intent was to probably help. Right? Mm-hmm. And he just got deeper and deeper into it.
Yeah.
And so if we're in that mode where you're feeling belittled, you're shutting down, she's overreacting, what do we do? Because we know that this isn't what builds a healthy relationship. And we both know that it's only going to go down from here. How do we get to this place where, let's say, she can actually talk and be heard, and then he can also talk and be heard? Like, how do we get there where he'll slowly start to open up? And I say slowly because I get it. It's hard for men to open up.
Change your behavior.
So right away, the thing I'm going to say is exactly what I hear a lot of women say. Wait a minute. You're the one who put us in this position. Why do I have to change your behavior, right?
No.
Why do you go there, though?
You have to change your own behavior.
Why do you go there, though? What do you mean? Are you talking about the man or the woman?
The woman.
Why? So again, I'm going to speak for the women that are listening.
But
why do
he has to change his behavior too. So in order for him to be able to speak out, he needs to be able to see that she's not going to overreact. So that's what's going to get him to speak. Mm-hmm. So if she doesn't overreact, she comes up and she says, "Look," and she looks genuinely concerned, compassionate, and says, "What's going on? Why are we in the situation? Why do we have all these credit cards? How come you didn't tell me about them?" And he says, "We're up to our ears in this stuff. I just lost my job."
You think he would speak up after that question?
Instead of it being in a frame of where it's made, where it's attacking him, which in a lot of ways or a lot of times it's made that way. And then most guys just go into, either they're going to fight back or deflect. And say, well, either one, they'd say, well, we wouldn't be in this situation if we weren't spending all that money. And try to just go into the comparison thing. Or they're going to say, it could go a number of different ways. But it all comes down to, I believe, that it comes down to the way that the initial approach is made, that if it is made with...
Like a soft startup.
Yes, a soft startup.
Gotcha.
Care, concern.
No criticism, judgment.
Yes, I'm just seeking to understand what's going on. Stephen Covey. I'm just seeking to understand first what's going on. And then after that, then I think the reaction is not going to be as abrasive. It's not going to be where it's going to be stonewalling. He's going to put up a front and not going to answer. It's going to be, okay, this is a safe space. I could go ahead and respond. I don't want to, but this is different from what I'm used to, where it's constantly being attacked. And maybe the initial response may be a little bit of a overreaction from him because he's not used to it. But then,
and you might be even intimidated or even afraid that it's not going to last. Like, this is probably just...
Yeah, this is a trick.
Yes.
But I think as long as she maintains that, and this is one of the things that, like, if you really want to make change in your relationship, and this is some of the things that you need to fix and recognize within your own relationship, you got to work on it.
Yeah.
So it's going to take work. It's going to take work by both parties, by the husband and the spouse, or the husband and the wife, to say that, like, one's got to stop overreacting. The other one has got to react and finally speak up and say, look, this is where we're at. This is the situation. This is why I did what I did. My justification for it was it the right thing to do? No, I felt it was the right thing to do at the time, but it just put us in a deeper hole.
Yeah.
And now we're in a, financial situation that we're in, and even worse off than we were before.
Yeah. One thing I'm hearing you say is take out the game.
Yeah.
Take out the game. And although you're hurt, it's not like let's be honest. You're concerned. You're hurt. You're having a great amount, a great amount of emotions. But you're having all of these emotions for a reason, because you care about this individual who is lying to you. And so you going into attack mode, and don't get me wrong, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to be very, very honest. I get there. I've been there, and I will probably continue to be there, work in progress for the rest of my life. But if you're able, I know for me, like when you and I are not seeing eye to eye, one thing that does help me is when I'm able to look at you and know, what do I know to be 100% true? What do I know to be 100% true? And don't get me wrong, there are some times where I question, like, maybe that's not 100% true. But ultimately, Are we on the same page? Do we have the same goals? You know, if there was lies involved, okay, I need to definitely understand where these lies are coming from and why these lies are necessary. Now, if homeboy is out gallivanting and spending money left and right and it has nothing to do with paying bills,
drugs, alcohol, gambling, things like that.
Hell yeah.
Then no, that's right. Wrong.
Okay, so that's wrong. So am I still taking that empathetic approach?
No.
Why not?
Because you're stealing from your family.
Ah. So it kind of changes up things, right? Mm-hmm. And so how do we discern between which is which? Especially if he's saying, I'm not talking about it. I'm shutting down. We don't know where the hell this money's going.
Your response is selfish.
What do you mean?
The guy's response is, or the person who has a spending problem is selfish.
Okay.
If the habit, and that's what it is, if it's like drugs, alcohol, gambling, anything of the like, then it's, that's the reaction or the response is it's out of selfishness.
So how do I approach you?
Just like you. You said you wanted to get all shot up and
don't even bring up Dr. Orion in this.
Like, my justification is because I want to get all pin-cushioned out and get all stabbed in the face and all that other stuff and get all injected.
Calm down. I'm trying to restore my youth. Calm down. We're not talking about the same thing. I'm not keeping money away from you.
That's selfish.
I'm not keeping money away from you. I am trying to do my best to maintain this beautiful face. Okay? A lot of it's for me. Some of it's for you. You're welcome. Okay? Some of it's for you. You're welcome. But I'm blunt. I'm very upfront with it. You already know. I call you on my way over there.
Oh,
I call you on my way back.
So that's all he has to do. Hey, brother, all you need to do is just say, I got a gambling problem. I'm going to go take care of this.
No. It's not the same thing, babe. Stop playing. So, for real, what do we do? So, if he is spending all of this money, I'm not doing that. You know how much I'm spending most of the time. I tell you either way. By
you tell me after the fact.
Well, either way you're telling. Either way, somebody's telling you. I'm telling you. The receipt's telling you. Somebody's telling you. But there's no hidden credit cards. But back to we we got a little off track. But kind of going back to this, there's all of these emotions involved. We're getting heated over Dr. Orion. I love you, Dr. Orion. You're still gonna be the man in my life to inject my face. Thank you very much and keep me young. That's up front, and we're joking about it, but we can joke about it because we both know the truth. However, when we don't know the truth, and there are these forms of lies, and there is an addiction, or there is, maybe he has 1 foot in, 1 foot out, or maybe he no longer.
That's true too.
Right?
Yeah.
Maybe he no longer is invested in the relationship or even invested in the family. Where I'm going to go is I'm still going to highly recommend. Don't get me wrong. I get you're pissed. I get your all of the feelings. Again, ladies, that is valid. Your emotions are valid. However, if you allow your emotions to take over, the behavior is now unjustified. So I'm still going to go with the feedback. If he is going out there gallivanting and everything else, I definitely want to listen and understand what the hell's going on, just so I can then make my own assessment and figure out what I'm going to do next. But at least I have all of the information to make that determination. We can all use a little help in our marriage, especially when it comes to communicating. I have created a guide just for you. And guess what? It's 100% free. I will give you practical tips and easy-to-use strategies to apply right now. That's right, right now, today. You all know I'm a huge advocate for you mamas, and I am on a mission to help you experience true connection and stress-free living. Ladies, we are setting our marriages up for success. It starts with you. You will find this freebie here in my show notes or go to empoweredandunapologetic.com/guide. The information I will be providing you is next level, and people pay good money to get these tips that I will be giving you for free. Don't forget to share this with a friend who needs it. What are your thoughts? Would you recommend that she takes the same approach? If he's over there gallivanting, spending all their money, 1 foot in, 1 foot out, would you still have her have a conversation with him, listen to understand? He's saying point blank that she belittles him.
If his reasoning for doing what he's doing is because he's already working out his exit plan to, leave the relationship, well then there's no point in having either reaction. It's not going to change anything. He's already made up his mind, or at least at that point. If he's already got, bank accounts and all kinds of other things going on. But I would say that if you're sharing a household together, you're living under the same roof.
Yeah.
If you got a seed together, you got a child, little crumb snatcher, live in your household, then you should be able to share an account together as well. And that should be an open and honest relationship as well. Like where your finances go and what you're doing with your finances should be as open as a relationship is.
Yeah.
Because that's one of the prime reasons why, marriages and relationships fail is finances. That's one of the biggest reasons why issues are created within a household is finances. So I think you need to be open and honest. Even, for the men, for the women, if you start to run into financial issues, you got to be open and just own those. But they got to be
on that same page,
yes.
though. If he's being belittled, if he feels like he's being belittled, and she admits to being overreactive, not to say it's her fault, but that right there, that foundation.
Why not to say that it's not her fault?
No, I'm not saying it's not her fault. Them both being able to hold themselves accountable, right? But in order to do that, being able to understand, like, what is it essentially that I want? If he's 1 foot in, 1 foot out, then you're basically limited, right?
Yeah.
Because you can't convince somebody to stay, nor do we want to.
Yeah.
But I guess ultimately, it's being able to determine if the lie is worthy of either you staying, you working on it, or maybe even you going.
Yeah.
Right? And so for you, if your partner is lying from this conversation, right? Mm-hmm. What would you arm them with? You gave us a whole bunch of steps with regards to how to go ahead and soft start up and listen. And
I would say, it comes down to, aside from this conversation here, this conversation isn't going to be the best way to have it. I would say that it would have to be a separate conversation outside of these things that are going on right now that are festering. And it would have to be a conversation, maybe even a date night that just says, hey, I want to just, kind of talk about some of the things that I think we can make some improvements on, our communication. And I think that one of the things that I need to own, and I think that would be a great way to start, is owning the issues that you have and that you bring to the table, is just saying, the issues I need to own is I need to be more honest. I need to say the problems that we have, and I need to not be afraid of how you're going to react and just put it out there on the table, despite how I think you may react, because I'm assuming how you'll react versus just coming out there and just saying it. And conversely, I think if he did that, then she would be, it would invite her to do the same, and maybe be, do the same thing where she says, well, you know what? I'm glad that you said that, because I too have to own that I may overreact at times. In fact, I do happen to overreact when you do say things, or, I do tend to add some jabs in there, and where it probably does put you in that situation where you don't want to be honest with me. Is that right? And then the conversation may go from there. So I would say that in a setting like that, a safe space, out on a date night, where a conversation is grown, rational, well thought out, I think that's a time to talk about it. Not in a time where emotions are heated.
You're flooded.
You're both flooded. You're both, at your wit's end, ready to choke each other out. That's not the time to try to figure out how are we going to communicate effectively.
Yeah.
So I don't know. To me, that would be the best way to start it out. Is just, there's every once in a while, every couple of years, you need to reset. You need to figure out, what are the things, how have we evolved as a couple over the last few years? What are the things that we can change? What are the things, how have we changed? Because the person that you got together with, when you first met, isn't the same person that you're with today.
Yeah.
You have goal changes, you have growth changes, you have, bodily changes, psychological, physiological. You have all kinds of different changes that
and there's
everybody goes through.
And there's so many concerns that go along with it as you guys are growing as a couple, your family's growing. There's so many
kids come into the picture.
There's so many insecurities that come into play. And so it sounds like regardless of if he's 1 foot in, 1 foot out, if there's some level of fear or intimidation because he's trying to protect the family, regardless, being able to go ahead and truly understand what this is, so whatever decision they make, they're not making it based off of emotions.
Correct.
Awesome. Ladies, I hope that helps. It's not easy. Like we already said, there are a whole hell of a lot of emotions involved. And yes, you might feel betrayed. You might feel completely manipulated. You might feel as if you don't even know who the hell your partner is because of that level of deception and that great amount of uncertainty and fear. Get your information. Figure out then whether or not this is something you can definitely work on together, calmly, or if we need to take another route.
Yep.
Baby, thank you so much for coming on.
You're welcome.
All right, ladies, until next time, see ya.
Later.
Many women lose their own identity in the shadow of being a mom and a wife. We are a community of women who support each other. We leave perfectionism behind to become empowered and unapologetic. I want to personally invite you to join our Girl Gang. It's a free Facebook community for women just like you. Go to www.facebook.com/groups/empowered and unapologetic. See you there. What's up, ladies? Just want to let you guys know that your ratings and reviews for this podcast are greatly appreciated. If you love this podcast, please go to iTunes right now, write a review, rate the episode, and subscribe. Don't forget to share it with your friends.
Addiction impacts all of us. Addiction's consequences run through all of us. From ourselves to our loved ones and through our communities, addiction creates so much loss and grief. My name is Dwayne Osterlin, and I'm the host of the Addicted Mind podcast, a show featuring personal stories, expert guests, and vital information about addiction and addiction recovery. We'll talk with leading treatment providers to discuss the latest research and treatment options for this devastating disease and advocate for mental health awareness. We discuss topics like the importance of creating a community of support to helping loved ones to some of the latest research on psychedelic medicines. The Addicted Mind podcast has been about creating hope, listening to stories of many amazing people that have overcome addiction and are thriving. If you or a loved one is struggling with addiction, subscribe to the Addicted Mind podcast wherever you get your podcasts, or check out theaddictedmind.com. New episodes every Monday. See you there.
It's easy to blame ourselves for our struggles with alcohol. We see people around us being able to control their drinking without any consequences, yet no matter what we try, we can't seem to figure it out for ourselves. My name is Jillian Teets, and I am the host of the Sober Powered podcast, where I use my biochemistry background to explain the latest research in addiction and help you understand both why you drink the way you do and how to develop the skills and mindset you need to find freedom from alcohol. I discuss topics like why we think about our drinking 24/7, why we have no off switch, and why we crave alcohol. If you're struggling with your drinking or you know someone who is, then I hope that you will check out the Sober Powered podcast. New episodes every Friday. See you there. It's easy to blame ourselves for our struggles with alcohol. We see people around us being able to control their drinking without any consequences, yet no matter what we try, we can't seem to figure it out for ourselves. My name is Jillian Teets, and I am the host of the Sober Powered podcast, where I use my biochemistry background to explain the latest research in addiction and help you understand both why you drink the way you do and how to develop the skills and mindset you need to find freedom from alcohol. I discuss topics like why we think about our drinking 24/7, why we have no off switch, and why we crave alcohol. If you're struggling with your drinking or you know someone who is, then I hope that you will check out the Sober Powered podcast. New episodes every Friday. See you there.
Hey there. This is Casey McGuire Davidson, host of the Hello Someday podcast. I'm an ex-red wine girl turned life coach who helps busy women change their relationship with alcohol. I spent 20 years climbing the corporate ladder while drinking a bottle of wine a night to unwind. In the Hello Someday podcast, my goal is to teach you the tried and true secrets of creating and living a life you don't want to escape from. Each week, I'll bring you tools, lessons, and conversations to help you drink less and live more. I'll teach you how to navigate our drinking-obsessed culture without a buzz and how to turn the decision to stop drinking from your worst-case scenario to the best decision of your life. You can find new episodes of the Hello Someday podcast every Thursday, wherever you listen, and I hope you check it out.
It's easy to blame ourselves for our struggles with alcohol. We see people around us being able to control their drinking without any consequences, yet no matter what we try, we can't seem to figure it out for ourselves. My name is Jillian Teets, and I am the host of the Sober Powered podcast, where I use my biochemistry background to explain the latest research in addiction and help you understand both why you drink the way you do and how to develop the skills and mindset you need to find freedom from alcohol. I discuss topics like why we think about our drinking 24/7, why we have no off switch, and why we crave alcohol. If you're struggling with your drinking or you know someone who is, then I hope that you will check out the Sober Powered podcast. New episodes every Friday. See you there.
Oh, hey, it's Erin.
And I'm Michaela, and we're the hosts of the Two Sober Girls podcast, and we are on a mission to spill the wild truth about sobriety.
Forget the rosé all day cliche. Sobriety is flipping amazing.
Absolutely. It's not just about quitting the drink. It's a gift you give yourself and your loved ones.
So what are you waiting for? Break up with that old toxic relationship with alcohol and let us show you the possibilities.
And here's the thing. Everything your precious heart desires becomes way easier without the influence of alcohol.
We're not just two sober girls, we're also wellness coaches. We're here to show you how to optimize health, lifestyle, and beauty, feel sexy and alive as F.
So stay tuned because we're rolling out new episodes every Monday wherever you get your podcasts, and trust us, they have your name written all over them. We can't wait to share the magic of sobriety and wellness with you. Subscribe to Two Sober Girls podcast today and come follow us on Instagram for behind the scenes action and send us a DM. We can't wait to meet you.